This is the Characteristics and Growth of Organisms unit test. First, put your name, and you're going to watch this video and pause it so you can answer each question. After you've heard the question being read aloud and the answers, you'll pause it, answer the question, then come back to your video for each question. Number 1, plants can be divided into 2 groups. Choose the correct answer that names these 2 groups. Seedless and flowering, seedless and non-flowering, flowering and non-flowering, spores and seeds. Number 2, choose the phrase that best completes the sentence. Non-flowering plants make seeds and flowers, make flowers but not cones, provide most of the food we eat, or make cones or spores but not flowers. Number 3, indicate whether each plant listed below is flowering or non-flowering. So up here you have your choices, flowering or non-flowering. And our plants are roses, mosses, ferns, fruit trees, pine trees, tomato plants, and grasses. Number 4, which trait do a toad and a tortoise have in common? Both of them have a backbone. Both of them have dry, scaly skin. Both of them need to live in moist habitats. Or both of them grow from young that live in water. Number 5, which one of these animals below is an amphibian? Bear, butterfly, lizard, or frog? Number 6, what do earthworms, jellyfish, and spiders have in common? They all have 8 legs, they all have stingers, they all have backbones, or they do not have backbones. Number 7, how are flowering and non-flowering plants alike? They begin the life cycle with a seed that germinates. They have roots that grow up and a stem that grows down. They grow flowers, or they end the life cycle when seeds fall from the cone. Number 8, what is a function of a seed? Forming fruit, making pollen, storing food for a new plant, or taking in water from the ground. Number 9, compare the life cycles of cats, frogs, and bean plants. Check all of the boxes which are true for each organism. So we have a cat, frog, and bean plant. And for each one, you have to select all of the boxes that are true for each organism. And our choices are hatches from an egg, produces offspring, grows, sprouts from a seed, undergoes metamorphosis. Number 10, the picture below shows a young plant that begins to grow after a seed sprouts. What is this young plant called? Conifer, fruit, pollen, or seedling? Number 11, the life cycles of a cockroach and a horsefly are shown below. The 2 life cycles are alike because both insects have nymph stages, look the same as adults, have pupa stages, hatch from eggs. Number 12, identify each stage in the life cycle of a butterfly. We have A, B, C, and D, and you have to tell me which each stage is. Pupa, egg, adult, or larva. Number 13, what about the dog in the picture is an inherited trait? The dog has curved ears, the dog is paying no attention, the dog has a scar on its shoulder, or the dog has a collar around its neck. Number 14, determine if each situation described below is an inherited trait or learned trait. Inherited or learned. A baby being born with brown hair. A baby bird is taught to fly by its parents. An apple tree produces red apples. The patterns of a snake's scales. And a dog rolling over on command. Number 15. Abby's father jokes that she has inherited most of her traits from her mother. What trait could she really have inherited? Blonde hair, good table manners, speaking with an accent, or knowing how to use a computer. Number 16. Barney is a cat. Which trait was made by his environment? Barney has a long tail. Barney has brown eyes. Barney has a pink tongue. Or Barney has a scar on his ear. Number 17. Which of the following responses is due to changing temperatures? A worm moves out of the light and into the dark. An Arctic fox develops a white coat of fur in the winter. A snake sheds its skin. Or a peacock fans its colorful tail and struts among other birds. Number 18. How does a squirrel use its sense of hearing? To locate shelter. To communicate. To judge which foods are okay to eat. Or to sense danger to escape enemies. Number 19. Because a small fish detects a large shark in the area, he turns around and heads in the opposite direction. How did the fish use his sensory organs? The fish used flavor to detect what food to eat. The fish used sight to detect a friend. The fish used sight to detect danger ahead. Or the fish used touch to identify food. Number 20. Ospreys are birds that hunt over water for fish. How does their excellent eyesight help them to survive? By helping them see small fish below them. By helping them hunt on land. By decreasing their chance of being eaten. Or by allowing them to hunt at night. Number 21. The picture below shows an armadillo. Which adaptation helps the armadillo stay safe from other animals? Sticky tongue, small eyes, bony shell, short legs. Number 22. Look at the picture of the hawk below. Which structure on a hawk most likely allows it to catch mice? Wing, beak, feathers, talons. Number 23. The picture below shows an insect sitting on a branch of a plant. Which effect does camouflage have on this insect's survival? Helps the insect find friends, helps the insect hide from enemies, helps the insect stay warm, or helps the insect stay cool. Number 24. Some Galapagos finches have heavy, strong beaks, while others have small, pointed beaks. Which best explains the differences in their beaks? The climate is different for these birds. There are different predators where the birds live. There are different foods available where the bird lives. Or the beak allows them to attract a mate. Number 25. Bird feathers are strong, flexible, and lightweight, which is one way feathers help birds. Feathers are an adaptation for defense. Feathers are an adaptation for locomotion. Feathers are an adaptation for camouflage. Or feathers are an adaptation to help locate food. Number 26. What is the function of the roots? To take in water and nutrients from the soil, to move and store water in the plant, to produce food for plants, or to protect the seeds. Number 27. The seeds shown grows on a short plant. The seed is covered by small points that can stick to other objects, which will most likely transport this seed to a new location. Floating water, the pull of gravity, the wind blowing, or being carried by an animal. Number 28. Which type of roots have learned to spread out close to the surface because the plant lives in a dry climate with very little rain? Cactus, carrots, dandelions, water lilies. 29. Which part of the plant helps the plant make food from sunlight? Leaf, seeds, fruit, pollen. Number 30. There are many different types of fruit. The picture of the fruit below also shows the type of seed, the size of the flower, the way the plant absorbs water, or the number of leaves on each branch. Number 31. Some birds eat seeds. If a bird drops a seed in soil, which best explains how a plant could be helped? It could get more sunlight. It has a chance to reproduce. It gets close to water, or it makes more oxygen.